Sounds good.
All right, so we haven't done a podcast in a while, but we wanted to do one where we're going to feature our new coach, Gabe.
Yeah.
So you're getting married in a couple weeks.
That's right, yeah.
Like
49 days, I think.
49 days, counting the days down.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump in, but today's a CrossFit Open. We were just talking about that off camera. And you haven't done it yet?
Not yet, but I plan on doing it this weekend.
Yeah, so I'm at Lakeland Athletic Club, so we still are technically a CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
So as coaches, we all get thrown on a team. So even if I don't want to do the Open, I still have to do the Open.
Yeah.
So I have been doing bodybuilding for like the last, just like machine work, pump work, just working on joint health and just trying to get healthier and sleep better. So I haven't done any CrossFit conditioning. So today was just jumping back into it.
Yeah.
And it was, I just kept telling myself, go slow and have fun. Go slow and have fun. So I was happy. I got through 7 rounds and started 2 burpees into the 8th round, which would be in the 24s. So,
yeah.
But like I was with Dylan Bailey, who's a pretty good CrossFitter locally, and he like almost finished 27. So I was like, I know he was smoking. It's just crazy how like it's all about can you hold a good pace the whole way through. So I just came out and held the same pace. It was just slow.
Yeah. You said just going back from bodybuilding into like CrossFit stuff. Like past 5 years I've been doing training and conditioning for football. So a lot of short burst power stuff. Yeah. Getting back into CrossFit was so tough. I was like gassed, like not ready for those longer endurance workouts.
It's an endurance sport through and through.
Yeah, I love it.
You got to get stronger if you're going to be good at it, but yeah, if you don't have that base. So let's jump in, man. So we just got you into the team, the roster, maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks
something
ago.
like that. Yeah.
And so it's kind of we're still getting the word out, but we wanted to give an opportunity for our listeners and our clients to get to know you a little bit. So let's start with this. Let's give a background kind of on your strength conditioning, what got you into sports, fitness, all that kind of stuff, and then how you transition into the coaching.
Yeah. I mean, as a kid, I've always just played sports, been a part of it. It's been a part of my whole life. I grew up loving watching football on TV Saturdays and Sundays every chance I got that I wasn't playing the sport, obviously. I mean, I love sports, and then get into like CrossFit. So CrossFit helped me like get in condition for football and doing all this stuff. I had to play basketball, football growing up. But CrossFit, ultimately, my parents did it, and I always went just to watch them. And I like fell in love with them. Like, man, I want to go out and do that.
Yeah.
Right. So then I kind of jumped in and like just ran with it for a little while playing high school sports and stuff like that. And then I kind of started to focus more on football, like strength. All right, I got to get my bench up. I got to get my squat up. I got to get all this my clean up, just so like when I go to college, when I get to that level, I don't want to be the smallest guy on the team. Right. So just trained from like CrossFit, having fun there, competing in a few competitions, and then just going straight strength.
College football.
Yep, and that's all it is. Like you're just doing a bunch of heavy squats, bench, and clean. That's kind of what the name of the game is, and then throwing a couple sprints every now and then, and we're gonna get ready for it.
That's awesome. I played 1 year college football, and when I played, I'm quite a bit older than you. Like the 185 bench press was like the standard. Like how many could you do? So what was your best 185 rep bench press?
Shoot, my bench was definitely the worst part of my like my strength gains. But
you got some long arms.
I did have long arms. And in college too, like I had broke my arm as well. Loading the arm was really tough for me. So when I got up to that weight, I wasn't able to do too many. Just as I kept going along, I was able to string a few together.
Nice. I remember, so I'm from Maryland. I went to the, junior year of college football, you go to the Maryland Combine, or if like, I'm sure in Florida, you go to like a Florida Combine, maybe Florida State or University of Florida or something. And they would test you on the 40, your 3-cone drill. They weigh you in, and then like you kind of get ranked in percentages on. It's kind of like the NFL Combine. And but the 185 bench press is like the ego place. I thought I did pretty good. I hit 19, which was like decent. And then they brought in, so like you would be like the juniors, and then they have like upcoming sophomores. And there was this guy named Joe Hayden. From the state of Maryland. And he was a really good quarterback, but he was kind of like an athlete ranked. And his dad was like a bodybuilding coach, and so pretty well known in the state. And he did 44 reps at 185. And I was like, dang, this freaking quarterback just smoked me.
I mean, he played in the league forever.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
He played for the Steelers.
Yeah.
He's a baller.
He's a beast.
He's a baller in college. Anyways, so football was your background.
Yeah.
Your parents got you into CrossFit early
Yeah.
on, so you kind of came from a fitness background family. But then you've also had some you had to do some rehabilitation. You played college sports.
Yeah.
You've kind of been able to see what does it look like to train on a team and get ready for sport, but also kind of like the rehab stuff. Tell me a little bit of the difference between what you experienced like team sport getting ready for competition and kind of like some of the hard things you had to go through to kind of rehab your arm.
Yeah, I mean,
because I'm not like, maybe you can't see this, but he's got a nasty scar right there.
Here and then on the other side as well.
Yeah. Oh wow, I never seen that one. That man hair in the way.
Yeah, exactly what it is. But I mean, when we did strength and conditioning football, I mean, we're in there, we're pushing each other. I mean, we're screaming, hollering at each other, getting us all hyped up to lift, right?
Yeah.
Because every single day we want to wake up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. to go work out and lift, right? We want to sleep and all that kind of stuff. But we're in there and we're lifting some heavy weights, some heavy volume stuff. And as soon as I got hurt, it went from me doing squats at 400 pounds to me being hardly able to pronate and supinate my wrist with a 1 pound dumbbell. Ugh. So you put a bar on my back with a lot of weight, I feel good. But you put a 1 pound dumbbell and I can't move it just destroys me.
Yeah.
Right. But I started realizing how important it was to take care of yourself. Even whenever you're lifting heavy, all that kind of stuff. But then when you get hurt, you're forced to take a step back.
Yeah.
And really focus on the rehabilitation, and that's what I needed to do. And I mean, I'm still kind of suffering from a little bit of effects. If I do a lot of stuff on the right arm, it does start to get sore and a little achy every now and then. But I mean, that's just part of it,
Yeah.
But really taking care of myself is kind of what allowed me to get back and able to do stuff like it is now.
Nice.
I could have just said whatever,
Yeah.
I got some metal in there, it's fine. I'll just go and do. But I actually had to take a step back and really take care of my body, which was huge. And so there was a huge difference. There's just going at it every single day, waking up, having the mentality of, I got to get better. I got to prove myself to this team. I got to make sure I can keep my spot on the team, to then having to be forced back and watch everybody else do everything. And then I'm in the training room struggling with the 1 pound dumbbell.
That's so mentally hard.
It was.
Yeah,
it was.
It's a grind. What were some of the things that you came back to kind of stay with it, not quit, get yourself back on the field, feeling strong? What were some of the mindset and coaching things you had to go through? And was there anybody that kind of helped you along the way?
Yeah. So, I mean, I had my athletic trainers were huge, and my football coaches were huge, and they knew how it was kind of defeating me a little bit. Because, I mean, you go from playing all the time and then you're just literally not being able to do anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to leave my room because I was on heavy drugs just for the pain.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it defeated me a lot. But my athletic trainers, my coaches, and my family too were just right there helping me, just hey, stick through it. It's going to get better. Your body will start to heal. You just got to give it some time. And so also, I mean, I'm a pretty big man of faith too as well. So having God was literally the forefront of my recovery.
Yeah.
Just having him lead me through it all. So it was a really cool time because it forced me away from my sport, but then forced me to get closer to God.
Yeah, it usually works that way, right?
It does, yeah.
It's the painful things that kind of get stripped from us get us time to expose on what's really important and matter. And and then having people to walk with you through that's huge. I'm sure. The only thing I can relate to is senior year of high school, you could look at my legs, I have two surgeries on both legs. I had a compartmental syndrome, which is a hereditary part of your calf that the sleeve that goes around your calf muscle stops growing. Yeah. So and your calf muscle kept growing. So it's this, anytime you would work out or run and blood's pumping through the veins in your legs, it doesn't allow it to expand. So it felt like just terrible shin splints all the time.
Yeah.
And so I remember when I got that surgery, I was laid up in bed for a week, and then I was in boots for a month, and then it was just slow. And then, you take a high school kid out of his sport for 5 weeks and he's sitting around doing nothing. It's I just want to eat chips and chill. It's wintertime in Maryland. I'm not really trying to to get after it. And I remember my athletic trainer, Miss Palmer, she got on me and was just getting me out there running again, kind of kicking my butt a little bit, which I needed. Because even as a competitor and an athlete, when you go through something like that, so easy to like, woe is me, or just get lazy,
Right.
or just
Right.
like not care as much anymore.
The motivation's not there anymore,
And you really just need someone around you to kind of push you.
Yeah.
And that's where, that would be like one of those starting points for me. Now, have you ever had like trainers, I'm sure, on your sports teams, or like if you were a hired trainer, had a CrossFit coach that was just like a tremendous impact to you and kind of shaped a little bit of how you view fitness and your coaching?
As soon as I got to Southeastern, I just started learning so much more just about, number one, with my degree, but number two, like actually being a part of it and actually doing the workouts.
Yeah.
Right. And also just how to take care of yourself.
What was your degree in again?
I got in kinesiology, exercise science. So like the movement, and performance of the body, and all that.
I knew that. I just wanted you to say.
Right. Yeah. The movement of the body. It's an eye-opening thing. There's so much more to your body than just 5 sets of 5 curls and dumbbells and all that kind of stuff. It's just so much more to growing your body the right way.
Totally.
But yeah, so as soon as I got this strength and conditioning coach named Austin Kistner, he knew his stuff. And just being around him, I was like, I just want to be a sponge. He's like, man, I want to be able to lift those heavy weights, but also take care of my body to where when I get further down in my life, I'm not like my knees are achy and like all this kind of stuff, right? But yeah, no, he was a huge help, and I like kind of just wanted to go all in with just my training and stuff like that. So he's the guy who kind of took me under his wing as well. He's like, I can see how hungry you are, and he wanted to help me in that. So
that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have those mentors, man.
Oh yeah,
which is cool. So you're out of college, kinesiology degree, exercise science degree. Like you've been doing coaching at a local gym here in town. You're working with people doing FCA now too.
Yep.
So give us a little bit of the FCA, what you do there as a coach.
Yeah.
And then like how that also merges with what we're doing with you at Comeback.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I coach at Vital, which is another gym here in Lakeland. And FCA is a sport ministry that allows us to go into high schools and middle schools and help the sports teams out in their strength and conditioning. A lot of times in high school sports, at least in the state of Florida, I know in other high schools around the country, they have strength and conditioning coaches, they have weights, and they have conditioning part of their practice regimen.
Yeah.
But like I feel like only in the state of Florida, it's like really just football. And the weightlifting team that do like lifting. When it comes to us, like we want to help integrate some of that strength and conditioning to help them increase their chances of getting better individually, but also as a team.
Totally.
You get stronger, you're in more condition, whether it's like soccer or basketball. I mean, we're helping out directly with a golf team, and we're helping them. They got to walk all 18 holes, So by the time they're done with the first 9, they're tired. We want to help them get through all 18, swinging very good without having their form break down. So strength and conditioning in that aspect, but also just like developing relationships, and I think that's the biggest like connection piece that that allows here with Comeback and with FCA is like you're developing relationships, and then but you're doing it through the outlet of fitness.
Yeah.
And so we're helping people become better, stronger mentally, but then also like spiritually as well.
I love that.
You really connect to them. So it's super fun. It's like right up my alley.
Yeah. So those are kind of the big 3 things. And then tell us, I mean, you mentioned earlier you're getting married, your fiance's name so the listeners know, and just how long y'all known each other, what y'all are doing for your honeymoon.
Yeah.
And then what does she do for a living too?
Yeah. So I'm getting married in April 18th, actually on Good Friday.
That's awesome.
Her name is Alicia, soon to be Woody, which is cool. Her name right now is Alicia Shack. And I mean, I met her at Southeastern actually. So we met my junior year of college right there in the middle of it. And we hung out once, and she reached out. Actually, it was based off of my arm. I got an article written about me, just how I let God was the forefront of my recovery and stuff like that. And she had commented on my Instagram story that popped up, and we just like kind of connected there. And I mean, we went on a few dates, and we just here we are. We're getting married here soon, so super excited. She is a RBT, a registered behavioral technician. So she works with kids with special needs and helps them with their everyday life.
Oh, that's really cool.
Going from I know she has some kids who are nonverbal. She has some kids that are a little bit older, but you'll still need to grow a little bit mentally and socially as well. So she's helping out a ton in that, and she loves it. She's got a passion for kids as well. Yeah. So, and she's super on board for everything that I'm doing here. Yeah. And I'm super on board with everything she's doing. So
I love that, man.
We're stoked.
Yeah. So one of the big reasons, we were excited to bring you on was just that right there. Like you and your wife kind of just even in your career your career pursuits, you're really trying to help people.
Right.
And like that at the heart of like you guys, it sounds like you love serving, you love going the extra mile, you love really connecting with the person and helping them, become the best they can.
Right.
And so at Comeback, like we're a coaching business, but we like to say like we really are a relational business. You can go get subscription programs anywhere you want, but
Correct.
The deep connection of someone being in your corner, helping, doing all the thinking with them is really where we want to see people get whole and healthy and be the comeback athlete that they want to be.
Right.
So when we saw that in you, we were just like, man, this guy's he's checking a lot of the boxes for us, and that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really fun because I just made the connection that your wife's pretty much the same way.
Right.
Like just in that, I'm sure you guys have your differences, but you both have that heart to want to serve. Yeah. And that's huge. So, we'll wrap it up a little bit here in a minute, but what would you say for listeners is one of the biggest struggles or weaknesses you have in your own fitness journey?
Mm-hmm.
And then what would you say is your favorite kind of exercise you like to do?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what are the hardest things?
Yeah,
weakness?
Hardest weakness, whether it be type of workouts, nutrition, any of that stuff. And then what do you love to do?
So playing college football, you're going against some dudes that are pretty big. So it was always just trying to gain weight however it could be. So I was working out 5 days a week. Sometimes like in my mind at that time was like, calories. So eat a ton just to get bigger so where you don't get pushed around very, very easy. So nutrition was a little bit, when I took a step back, was really important because I wasn't working out the same way I was.
Sure.
And I wasn't as often during football, like doing the kind of things we did in football.
Right.
So nutrition was more important. Like, okay, how can I not take care of my body that can help me like compete and do the goals and hit the goals that I wanted to do. So I wanted to get back into CrossFit. I love doing CrossFit. I love doing those longer workouts and actually being able to, last during them. Besides, like after the first 5-10 minutes, feeling like I'm on the floor, like just dying, because that's when I got back. I was working out with a few friends and a mentor as well. And I was dead after the first 5 minutes. Just going from like that power like training, just like going to CrossFit. It's like, I did that for like a couple years before I did football.
Sure.
I'll be all right. And then I get there and I'm like, oh man. So the transition from college to college football to back into like more of the endurance workouts, that was definitely the hardest part probably in my fitness I've ever had.
Yeah.
I've failed at some 1-rep maxes in football, which kind of was like, dang it, I wanted to hit some of those, but ultimately the transition was probably the toughest part.
Yeah.
So, but, you keep working at it and you continue to get better,
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And so I would just kind of go hand in hand with my favorite kind of training, and it's CrossFit style.
Yeah.
I love to, and I use my lift to complement it as well. So I'm not doing like 5-6 days of CrossFit every single time,
Sure.
Or I'm doing some more strength days, but adding some CrossFit in there as well. So I just keep myself active and busy, like making myself as my competitor.
Yeah.
I want to beat who I was the day before. I want to get continually better and better and better every single day. I think CrossFit allows me to do that and allows me to feel like that.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I have a love-hate relationship with CrossFit. Like it's one of the most fun ways I found to work out, just in sense, like as a former athlete, like there's just a fun to how far can you get,
right,
or how quick can you do this, or how heavy can you get. Like it just pulls the competitive edge out of people. But like I found that like when done sporadically or too generally or too often, like it just burned me out. And so I think one of the things we've done at Comeback, working with a lot of clients, is finding out their background,
right,
and getting to know, okay, they're a football player. Oh, they do enjoy CrossFit, but it burned them out. Or, they're a former tennis player or soccer player. And so then like kind of building around the things that people love, but then also working on some of the weaknesses that are going to help them get there where they want to be. And that's why I like asking that question, because it's kind of fun to know, so if I were coaching Gabe, I would be like, boom, we're going to do some fun power lifts here or there, but I got to give him a little bit of Metcon every once in a while, just to get that edge out.
Heck yeah.
So that's really cool. Well, again, we just want to give you guys an opportunity to get to know Gabe. He's taking on new clients right now. Right. We're building his roster out. And so if you're interested at all at wanting to work with us, our real offer is that we want to be a one-stop shop where we are offering coaching with Gabe or coaching with Nick or myself, and you're going to be able to get a one-on-one program that's catered towards you, nutritionally program built around you, built around your life, and then mindset coaching once a month with Joe Jardine, who's our counselor.
He's awesome.
He's one of the best. And then you get labs done quarterly with Dr. Sean McGovern out in Arizona. Great dude. He used to lead all the nutrition for OPEX, and is just, he's a genius with all this stuff. So we want to create an awesome experience with that, and that's kind of who we are and what we're trying to offer. So if you're interested at all, you can head over to our website and do our application, and we'll reach out to you guys here soon and get a discovery call to answer any of those questions. Thanks.